What is going on, everybody? I pray that you are just doing phenomenally well. So on this video, I want to give you 3 tips for a flip, right? Well, I thought that was catchy. I don't know. But anywho, have you ever watched those house flipping shows and sat there and wondered like, wow, what would it be like for me to actually start flipping houses? And how can I start flipping houses, right? Well, it's not that far-fetched to be able to start flipping houses. But before you do, I want to share with you again 3 things that I think will help you in your real estate investing journey, especially as a fix and flipper. So be sure to like, subscribe, share all of those amazing things. And listen, check the description below because you already know I have some incredible events coming up, from a free wholesaling bootcamp that you can check out, a live mastermind style training in Dallas, Texas. So if you can get here to Dallas, Texas, that's going to be May 10th. I am capping that at 25 people max. This is going to be a mastermind style. And I actually think it's almost full. So the time of you watching this video, it may or may not be available still, but I'll have all of those links in the description. Anywho, when it comes to flipping, I have known and seen a lot of people lose their tail by this one reason, and that's not buying it correctly. You've probably heard the saying that you make money in the buy. I think that's actually pretty accurate, right? The way that you buy that property is going to make the world of difference. I've seen so many real estate investors not follow their rules or their golden formula, especially for me and everybody in my community that we coach and that we teach. We teach 70% of the ARV minus repairs, right? If you buy at that formula, you are pretty much guaranteeing yourself success, right? But so many people get in here and they want to fudge the numbers, or they want to say, well, I think I can make it work if I do the work myself. And they start doing all of these unnecessary things, trying to force a deal. Do not do that to yourself. I want you to think about this with me, if you will. When you start doing stuff like that, you are basically taking on more risk to make less money. And that is not what we want to do. Okay. We want to make sure that we have an adequate amount of profit margins there when we're doing these flips. Okay. So that's the number one thing that I would say here. Even if it takes you longer to find the deal, that's okay. Right? Would you rather wait 2 or 3 months to get a deal that you know is going to be a home run of a deal? Or would you rather try to force the deal here just because you're eager and ready to get started, and then now you're upside down, right? Anywho, you get the point here. Step number 2 is not having your contractors lined up, right? Like before you actually close on the house. So many investors, they'll typically use a private money lender, hard money lender, at least I know we do, for these deals. And they'll close on that house, and then they're scrounging around, so to speak, trying to find contractors and get repair bids. You need to have all of that stuff lined up before you actually close on the house, if and when you can. Now, there are some extreme situations where maybe I have a seller that's facing foreclosure, and so I may need to close on that house a little quicker than what I normally would. But if I have time, I'm going to get my contractor lined up. I'm going to get 3 or 4 repair bids. I'm going to already have everything lined out, not just in my mind, but on paper, on the type of materials that we're going to be using for these projects, where we're getting these materials from. I am going into this flip as organized as I possibly can. And you know why? Because that's going to alleviate any unnecessary spending. It's going to alleviate any unnecessary purchases, because I know, oh, this is the material that I'm using for the flooring. This is where we're getting it from. This is what it costs. Here it is, right? Same thing with countertops, whatever it may be. Again, I've done all of this work beforehand. This is the pre-work, the pre-game. Okay, so the moment that we close on that house, if we close on that house that morning, you better believe those contractors are in that house that evening before that ink even dries. Are you with me? Right? If we close in the evening, they're going to be there the next morning ready to rock and roll. Because I want you to know those hard money and private money loans are typically short-term loans, right? About 6-month loans. So time is of an essence here. So we need to hit the ground running. And that kind of tees me up to my third point is don't go over budget, excuse me. You get to watching those shows, you get attached to the house, and I need you to remember you are not going to be living in that house. This is an investment for you, okay? And so when you do that and when you know that, you're not going to be making emotional purchases. And that's why I also like to do that pregame that I mentioned. I know the materials that we're using, the paint that we're using, all of that stuff before I even go into the house. So there's no need for me to be going out here making last minute changes and stuff. You want to keep that to a minimum. It is very easy to start going over budget. When you are trying to buy flooring for a house that's 22, 23, 2,500 square feet, guess what? It starts to add up quickly. Okay. And so that's why I can't stress that we need to stay on budget. But having those things in place, the other two things, right? Purchasing the property correctly, having your pregame done where everything's lined up before you even close on that house. And then it'll really help you stay on top of your budget there. So those are just three quick tips, so to speak, for your flipping journey. If you will, let me know if this was valuable for you. Put in the comments below. But y'all have a beautifully blessed one, and I'll see you soon.